You're watching the Weekend 15 on TV Platinum, your in-depth roundup of the 15 biggest stories shaping Nigeria this week. From politics to power struggles, governance to grassroots voices, let's rewind and break everything down. Our number one, former Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, has shut down growing speculations that he may serve as a running mate to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar ahead of the 2027 elections. Responding to claims made by Atiku's ally Dele Momodu, Amechi made it clear that he is pursuing the presidency himself, not interested in being anyone's deputy. He said he would not run as a vice presidential candidate on any joint ticket, insisting that Nigerians should disregard the speculations. And number two, the internal war within the PDP deepened this week as the faction loyal to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike reaffirmed the expulsion of 18 top members, including Governors Bala Mohammed, Dauda Lawal, and Sheyi Makinde. The statement, released by factional National Secretary Senator Samuel Anyanwu, warned Nigerians to beware of imposters parading themselves as PDP members. The NEC had expelled the affected members on November 18th for alleged anti-party activities. Wike's camp insists these expulsions remain binding and enforceable. On number 3, Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Matthew Hassan Kuka, says Nigeria is now at a turning point in its worsening insecurity. Speaking at the dialogue in Abuja, Kuka said, "Every Nigerian has either experienced insecurity or knows someone who has." He called for a whole-of-society approach, with governments leading and religious and traditional institutions supporting. Kuka urged leaders to embrace transparency and justice and citizens to speak up, insisting democracy cannot thrive in silence. On number 4, a federal high court in Abuja has issued a stern warning to the EFCC chairman Ola Olukoyede for allegedly disobeying a court order. The court had ordered the release of 27 houses seized under an interim forfeiture order in March 2025. The registrar has now issued a Form 48 notice mandating the EFCC to hand over the property documents immediately. Failure to comply can lead to contempt proceedings against the anti-graft agency. On number 5, the Central Bank of Nigeria has unveiled sweeping changes to its cash policy. In a circular signed by the Director of Financial Policy and Regulation, Rita Sike, the CBN announced the removal of all cash deposit limits, scraping of excess deposit charges, new weekly withdrawal limits, 500,000 naira for individuals and 5 million naira for corporates. The new rules take effect January 1st, 2026 and are aimed at cutting cash management costs and reducing the risk associated with heavy cash usage. At number 6, the Federal High Court in Abuja has barred politician and publisher Omoyele Sowore for making statements considered harmful to national peace and security. Justice Muhammad Umar warned that Sowore's bail could be invoked if he violates the directive. Sowore pleaded not guilty to charges brought by the DSS and continues to stand trial. On number 7, Vice President Kashim Shettima says the Tinubu administration will continue to protect press freedom. Speaking at the International Press Institute's 2025 conference in Abuja, Shettima said, "Journalists must operate without intimidation. Our duty is to ensure a safe environment where truth thrives." He added that transparency remains a core commitment of the government. At number 8, former PDP acting national chairman Umar Damagum has officially handed over to Tani Muturaki-led National Working Committee. Speaking at the Bauchi State Governor Sludge in Abuja, Damagum said the party remains strong despite internal battles, urging the new NWC to focus on unity and rebuilding. On number 9, the House of Representatives has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the whereabouts of 30 billion naira recovered during the 2024 to 2025 probe of the National Social Investment Program agents. Honorable Saidu Musa Abdullahi, who sponsored the motion, warned that millions of vulnerable Nigerians have been left stranded because the agency cannot resume operations until the recovered funds are remitted to the Treasury single account. On number 10, Northern governors say the region is facing a grim reality due to spiraling insecurity and poverty. At a joint meeting of governors and traditional rulers in Kaduna, Forum Chairman and Gombe Governor Muhammadu Yahaya says the future of the North is at stake. He urged leaders to rise above politics and take decisive action, warning that history will judge them by the security they provide, not the projects they commission. At number 11, the FCT High Court has adjourned the criminal defamation case against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to February 23, 2026. The defense opposed the adjournment, arguing that prosecutors failed to give the required 48-hour notice. Justice Chizoba Orji, however, ruled that the adjustment was in the interest of justice. At number 12, National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu says Nigeria is receiving direct support from the US, UK, and France in efforts to rescue pupils abducted from St. Mary's Catholic School in Niger State. Ribadu, who visited affected parents in Kotambura, said President Tinubu has ordered a full-scale operation, assuring families who will bring the children home. On number 13, President Bola Tinubu has met with Abia State Governor Alex Otti to discuss diplomatic and legal strategies for the possible release of Nnamdi Kanu. The meeting follows Otti's present visit to Kanu in Sokoto, Otti described the matter as both emotional and politically sensitive for Abia, saying it remains a top priority. At number 14, the Senate has summoned Finance Minister Wale Edun and several top officials over the collapse of Safe School initiative established in 2014 after the Chibok kidnappings. Committee Chairman Orji Uzo Kalu says the structure designed to protect school children has completely fallen apart, prompting a fresh probe. And at number 15, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Tinubu's nomination of former INEC Chairman Mahmood. And at number 15, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has criticized President Tinubu's nomination of former INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu for an ambassadorial posting. Atiku said rewarding the former INEC boss sends the wrong message about accountability and integrity in Nigeria's electoral process. And that's your week in 15. Stay informed, stay empowered. For deeper dives into these stories, stay with TV Platinum, where the news meets clarity. I am Michelle Chobasa.